So what's the deal with protein? I keep seeing articles about how protein is bad for you. And then I see influencers telling me that protein is the best for me. And so what am I supposed to think about all this protein talk? And I wanted to say, we all want the easy answer. We want this to just be like, can I take this on faith? Like religion? No, you can't. This is science. And so let's dig in a little bit about why protein matters and what it's good for and why you should be careful about not getting too much for some people. So first off, protein is a macronutrient. So you've got carbs, fat, protein, alcohol kind of fits in there because you can get calories from that. But it's a macronutrient and it's important. And the reason it's important is because protein is a building block for muscle. That's because amino acids, which proteins are made up of, go into building muscle. Now, if you eat a bunch of protein, you're not just going to gain muscle. That makes sense, right? You can't just sit on the couch, pound a bunch of protein and gain muscle. And so that's kind of point number one. Protein does not equal free gains. You're not going to gain muscle just by sitting there and eating protein. And so I hear a lot of people talking about protein junk, and I completely agree. We should not be pounding protein shakes and protein bars and thinking that we're going to gain muscle. What we should be doing is first give ourselves the stimulus. We have to lift. That means we have to go to the gym or work out at home or do something. We have to put our muscle under strain and we have to progressively overload it. That means a little bit harder each time, some sort of change, so our muscles will adapt. And then if we feed our muscles protein, we will grow stronger. How much do we need? So for most people, it's 0.6 to 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. Now, I'm going to use pounds because we're in the US, okay? If I use kilograms, your eyes will gloss over and you'll be like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So 0.6 to 0.8, and that is plenty for 95% of people. Now, if you're the 5% that fall into either ultra athlete or bodybuilder, and you're really looking for muscle hypertrophy and recovery, then you can push it higher. But if you're not that person, then really that 0.6 to 0.8 gram per pound of body weight. And if you want to even be more particular, this is ideal body weight. And so I'll put a calculator down below in the description so you know where to look and find ideal body weight and then multiply your ideal body weight pounds by 0.6 to 0.8. Now, why do I say that's enough? Because you're probably hearing you should be eating a gram per pound. And you could eat a gram per pound if you are a bodybuilder, right? And you're trying to optimize. But for most of us, we don't need that much, and 0.6 to 0.8 will do it. Now, that's a whole lot more than the recommended daily allowance that you hear. Again, this is for people who are lifting first. So first lift, second protein. Let me say it again. First lift, second protein. Okay? All right. So if we take that into account and we say, oh, I'm going to believe Jared and the science that he's quoting, that this is enough protein. So who should not eat too much protein? And this is why getting blood tests and having a physician guide you, or even a coach who can interpret blood tests, is really important, because you need to know that your kidneys are strong enough. And I know that people will say, well, creatinine isn't accurate enough. You really need to get a cystatin C, which is possibly true for you. If you have really high muscle mass or you're taking creatine, then creatinine is not going to be very accurate for you. But for many people, creatinine is accurate enough and it's telling you your kidney function. And if your glomerular filtration rate, GFR, is not high enough, then too much protein can be hard on your kidneys. And we want to maintain your kidneys. Your kidneys are so important. And so we want to make sure that they are healthy enough. And so we don't want to put too much strain on your kidneys with too much protein. So first off, if you don't have good kidney function, don't eat too much protein. Number two, if you're not lifting, don't eat too much protein. Number three, don't eat protein junk. Eat protein food. Okay? Let me eat that. I had somebody the other day say, hey, I know you said that I need all this fiber and all this protein, because they were working out. And they said, can I just do that with Metamucil and protein bars? No, do not do that. That is the last thing I want you to do. I want you to eat real food. I want you to eat food that is high in protein and high in fiber. What does that mean? Now, I try to make this as simple as possible for people. And so I'll often use heuristics for this, or some sort of way to think about this. And so the way I think about it is, the easiest way I know is to do 800 gram challenge, which is something that E.C. Sinkowski came up with. And I mean, She kind of named it, and I would say she even put kind of some sort of system behind it. But basically, it's this. Can you eat 500 to 800 grams of fruits, vegetables, beans, legumes? Can you do that every day, day after day? That's challenge number one. Challenge number two is, can then you eat enough protein? If you do those two things and you do it in real food, it's going to be really hard to overeat. And it's going to be really hard to eat a bunch of junk. Now, getting the amount of protein, let's say you are lifting heavy. So for myself, I lift heavy 3 or 4 times a week. And I really am trying to maximize my muscle gains. And so I'm going to shoot for 0.8 grams per pound of protein per body weight. And it is difficult for me to eat enough food in a day, enough protein to go along with all the fruits, vegetables, and fiber that I'm eating to reach that amount of protein, which for me is, 160 to 170. But if that is true, that it's hard to get that much protein, it means that I'm going to drink a protein shake now and again. And so I do. I usually drink at least one protein shake a day, 30 grams of protein, something like that. But for the most part, I try to get all my protein in food, and so should you. Don't eat junk food that is disguised because it says protein on it. It's the halo effect of protein. Don't eat a bunch of protein if you have kidney problems, and don't sit on the couch and eat a bunch of protein and think that you're healthy. You got to get off the couch. You got to exercise. You got to lift weights. You got to do things that are really hard, and then go ahead and eat some protein to make sure that you build the muscle that you're working so hard to build. Muscle is the currency of aging. The more muscle you have as you age, the healthier you'll be metabolically, movement-wise, all the things. You want muscle. So I get it. I get why people are so excited about protein. And people say, like, I'm eating all this protein. Look at me. I'm so healthy. First, lift, then eat protein. All right. That is enough rambling about protein. I'm happy to answer questions. Put your comments, and please like and subscribe to Bionic Health. We love having subscribers, and we release information like this all the time. Take care.